What's up, the people? Welcome back to the channel. Today was a bit of a roller coaster. Started the morning trade session a bit rough, had a couple of losses, although, well, I'll say, yeah, there were losses, obviously. I lost money, but point is, I did an analysis and I kept my stops a little bit tight. And I think I've learned a valuable lesson today because I was negative 600 and I finished the day. Not going to trade anymore today because I'm now positive 1100 for the day. So, total winnings were about 1800 in total if you count the losses plus the winnings, which I'm super pleased with. And yeah, I mean, it was a tough morning and then also a tough afternoon, but yeah, learned valuable lessons. I'll try and talk through the bits and pieces that I've kind of, where I think I went wrong this morning and how I fixed it this afternoon. Taking a little bit more risk than I, maybe should have, but it's worked out really well. And I guess you've got to take a bit of risk for the reward, I guess. So let's get into it and see what we can learn. So I've entered an ES long here. Nice point of confluence with the overnight session volume profile. Entering just below the value area low at 6405. I'm expecting a trending market, hoping for a push up here. Expectations, as I learnt yesterday, probably not a good thing to have, but the market generally seems to be trending higher. This is buying in relation to the overnight session at cheap prices. And yeah, I don't think there's any major economic announcements today. So hoping for a nice, steady, steady trade. Let's see. So this is the setup. Entered at 6405.5. R to R about 1. 1.27 it's saying. I might set my take profit a little lower. If I get confirmation and I can get another contract in, I might move take profit down and get another contract in, but I'll wait for the moment. During this morning's session, I was looking at a number of other setups which kind of aligned with my system. I ended up entering a few of them, and none of them worked out. I'll talk you through them. A couple of other setups I'm looking at the moment. There's this on the Dow Jones, where we've got the overnight session value area high moving down to the value area low. If we continue to trade around here and I can get these 2 points align, I'll probably take a short, see how that goes. I'll obviously base it on the current session's volume profile as well, but that's something I'm eyeing up at the moment. And similarly with the Russell, it's been bouncing around this level right here, which is the previous day's value area low. Currently, point of control on the overnight sessions align pretty well with it, so I was considering a short from here as well, actually, but yeah, not looking too promising right now. And then on gold also had a potential nice alignment. If there was a push up, I would look to go short from the overnight session. I'll just draw this profile. That would be a really nice short. If we could get in a short from up here, alignment with the previous week's value area high and the 2 approximate alignments with the overnight session value area highs, getting a premium price short in there, that would be, yeah, a real gem. See what we can get. There's also a potential long on the Nasdaq. Again, if we can get a bounce off this value area low and some confidence with these overnight session levels, another potential setup for the day there. So at this point I had the long on the ES that I mentioned at the start, and then I ended up taking another long on the Nasdaq, and both getting stopped out almost simultaneously, losing about 400 in the process. Testing this high volume node again. Got a feeling if we break through I am going to get stopped. Alright, so update on the Nasdaq. Hopeful trade. Things are starting to line up quite nicely actually. If we get a retest, I'm probably going to enter along at 359.25 or below. Could be a mistake because there does seem to be a bit of a downward sentiment on the market today, but gonna try it out. The ES trade is just about back at break even at the moment. Yeah, keep you posted. Just got the Nasdaq fill. Probably gonna set my quite a tight stop at a new low of the session and take profits. Oh, looks like we might be going straight in for the stop. Might give it a bit more of a wider berth. Tend to risk about $200 per trade. Maybe that's a mistake, but that's what we're here for, to take a bit of risk for a bit of reward. So stops at 349.75, 349.75, and I may well leave this as an open trade because I would like to see this. I'd like to try let my runners run for once, you know. We've been bouncing around this range for 2-3 sessions now. Oh no. About to get filled, so no need to let the runner run. Yeah, trade closed. No, not yet. There we go. It's a quick $200 loss. Okay, interesting. Something seems to have happened. I think looks like my yeah. I'm now negative $400 on the day. So interestingly, those two trades I had on the ES and the NQ, the ES was stopped out by, what's that, 2 ticks is it? 450, 2 ticks. Had I had a slightly wider stop, I would still be in the trade. I wouldn't have hit my profit target yet, but would have been in the trade. And the NQ one, I was stopped out. Weird, because I don't think, doesn't look like the wick made it down past there. But anyways, I was stopped out on this one, and then would have, had I had a slightly wider stop, would have hit my profit target on that. So the analysis was correct. The stop was not big enough, it seems. These things happen. At this point, I arguably should have stopped trading. I went on a bit of tilt, I'd say. I ended up opening a couple of shorts that didn't go too well. I did get a little win on the Dow. That was a long, but yeah, I was not. I was trying to play catch up and just not following the system. So yeah, stopped trading, went for a run, had my lunch, came back, and then reopened the same opportunity from the morning where I got stopped out. Reopened both of those on the ES and the NQ again, leaving a much wider stop. And both of those I closed just before the New York Open because they were both in profit, and I didn't want to, this is so volatile on the Open, so I just thought I'd close those out. Entered a couple of trades on the Nasdaq and the ES again. Let's see how this one goes. Got in on the on ES at 6405. Gonna put my stop down at below the value area low. Hopefully avoid getting stopped out again. And on the Nasdaq, similar story. Same trade idea. I mean, we've traded in this range all session since the London started, and even part of the overnight. Yeah, also going to try and keep a wide enough stop to avoid getting stopped out again, and see what happens. I'm not going to say what I'm expecting because we know we shouldn't be expecting anything with trading. This is the setup I'm hoping for based on the system. Got in at cheap prices with regards to the current session and the previous day session. I closed the trades just before open as I was in about $200 profit, and I didn't want this to happen where it could just whipsaw me out. So let's see what happens on the open. Yeah, Nasdaq would have, even though I thought I had a wide enough stop, would have closed my trade out. There's the lesson. Don't sit in a trade on open. It's very volatile. So reflections on today's trading. I mean, I'm glad I ended the week in profit. I'm about $1,200 off from completing the combine now, so fingers crossed next week's a good week. I'm having mixed feelings about, I mean, this morning arguably I had, a couple of rough trades, went on tilt, could have blown the account, possibly should have locked myself out of the account, but equally if I'd done that, then I wouldn't have come back this afternoon, had a couple of good trades, learned some really valuable lessons, and ended the week on a high. So yeah, I don't know, it's a difficult one. I would like to be able to control the emotions a little bit more, and when you take a loss, go for a walk, do whatever you need to do, and take some time out. I guess after 2 losses, I suspect. I mean, I'm being a bit silly taking double trades and then took 2 losses in one hit. Then yeah, I'm still learning. It's the good thing about a combine. It's low risk, low reward. There is money on the line because you can blow the account or you don't pass on time and then you have to pay a subscription fee monthly. But it's a good place to be learning these lessons rather than in the live market. And I'm sure the psychology in the live markets is going to be different. And I'm also sure that I'll be a little bit more careful than I am being now because there is that much more on the line. So yeah, I think all in all, a lot learned this week and still really enjoying trading, really hoping it's going to be a new potential full-time income source, and I look forward to getting back to it next week. So yeah, let me know if you've got any thoughts, comments, suggestions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.